They'll throw on first down with Ryan. Getting it out left side to Sanu. He's still on his feet. Touchdown, Falcons. Mohamed Sanu, 75 yards. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now a carry, it's C.J. Anderson. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. The offensive lineup now, and the guy we highlight, Emmanuel Sanders.
You can use him in any spot as a wide receiver. In the slot, out wide, it doesn't matter. He just makes plays.
On second down, here's Simeon. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Well, the bad news, the Denver Broncos didn't make the playoffs. But the good news for Demaryius Thomas, he was over 1,000 yards again as a receiver.
6th straight year he's done that. But yards per catch and touchdowns down a little bit. Any of that due to the change at quarterback?
Think about it. For him now, in the last 2 seasons, he's had to get used to 4 different quarterbacks throwing him the football. I think that yards per catch will go back up when he gets some consistency.
And 15 yards there on the catch and run.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
On first down, it's Simeon. And hauled in here by Jordan Norwood. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
First down. Here's the run with Anderson. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Here's Simeon now on 2nd down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. To throw on second is Simeon. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Throwing on 3rd down, Simeon. His pass caught at the 4. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
Now Brandon McManus for the Bronco field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And McManus able to put it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach. But it kept the offense out of the end zone.
And the Falcons now making their way back out onto the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
A glance at the starting unit. Julio Jones, a threat on the outside, of course.
Combines great athleticism, incredible speed, and a whole lot of toughness to be one of the better receivers in the NFL.
And he gets it to a former Bronco, Jacob Tamme. A very solid gain of 27. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
From midfield now, here's Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. Touchdown, Falcons! Julio Jones, 50 yards. And the Falcons will extend their lead. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC.
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
And last year, that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year, he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. On 1st and 10, Simeon. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. Sanders, the former SMU product, had 79 catches last year, over 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns. They're going to need more of him in Denver if they want to get back into the playoffs.
Part of a great tandem, he and Demaryius Thomas. And Demaryius plays out wide. He's one of those guys that you send him out there and let him work one-on-one and use his big body and his big frame to get open. Emmanuel Sanders, he has the ability to work inside as well. And he's not just quick, he's also fast, and he's dependable for a quarterback because a lot of the routes he runs are right in the sight line. Easy throws for a QB.
Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
And those first downs do add up. The offense keeps the ball moving downfield and keeps our defense on the bench, giving them a chance to rest.
Simeon. Norwood's got it, complete. And he coughed it up. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it.
And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Trevor Siemian taking it in. And the Broncos have cut it to within a score.
Instead of having to play follow the leader there, the leader led.
I like that. And he likes that, doesn't he? First and goal, let me do the job.
Because you know when he falls into the end zone after falling behind those big guys who pushed up front, that's a pretty good celebration, isn't it?
Gives him a little street cred in the locker room, too, doesn't it?
Street cred, and then when they go out to dinner afterwards, he's still picking up the check.
Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
That confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Let's look ahead for a quick minute. We don't have the schedules yet for next year, but what we do have are the 5 international games that will be played, 4 in London and then 1 again in Mexico, Jacksonville, Baltimore, Miami, New Orleans, Cleveland, Minnesota, Rams, and Arizona. Those in London, and then Mexico's going to get a great game. The Raiders and New England.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And just think about the ones in London. Remember, they're splitting them between the 2 different stadiums in London, so they get a different flavor in all these places. But Mexico, for the 2nd straight year, the Raiders are coming to town. That should be a whole lot of fun.
Should be a ton of fun and a very good matchup. And now a first down following that long gain. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
And when you watch Devontae Freeman run the football, you can almost close your eyes and hear him running the football, can't you? Because people just scatter. I mean, you know, when he goes through a pile, it moves in a positive direction for him. I just love how hard he plays the game. 1,000-yard
season. He had 11 touchdowns last year. In March, 25 years old. So he's kind of hitting that sweet spot for a running back, isn't he?
He really is. And I still remember the evaluation of him coming out of college. He does everything well, but you weren't sure he had a dominant trait. Well, wrong about that. He's dominant in just about everything he does. And I think that he's going to continue to elevate his game and seek a 3rd Pro Bowl in 2017.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. Second down to the offense in search of 6 yards. On second down, here's Ryan. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. DeMarcus Ware. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Second down, sack by the defense. What type of pressure will they bring here on 3rd? We'll see.
Ready.
3rd and long. It's Ryan. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And this one will be brought back to the 22. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Here we go.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard. On
second down, here's Siemian. Green with a catch left side. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
They'll run it. Here's Anderson. Shreds the tackle, and he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. Now a play fake here on first down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. They run it again with Anderson. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. And quickly, they get to the line. They go play action here on first down.
But we always talk about good down and distance.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Now a first down throw. Simeon. A dump off to Anderson. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and it's a second down. And they're going to speed things up here. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being... Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on third down.
Here we go now.
Again, Simeon escaping the pressure right. And a sideline pass that's caught by Thomas. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. And McManus able to put it through. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. A strong running. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that.
Emmanuel Sanders, the 20. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Emmanuel Sanders, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Broncos have taken the lead.
Partner, you know what the real key is to stopping a good passing attack?
You tell me.
Being able to tackle as soon as a guy catches the football.
Didn't work out there.
No, because when you give up the big run after catch, the rack yardage, that puts your defense in a big-time stressful position.
A lot of rack yardage and a touchdown there on the big play. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he is out of bounds here on the return. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
No gain on the play there. Second down. So they go out of the gun, try to delay it on the draw, but nothing there.
Yeah, good play by the defense there. They sniffed it out and made sure there were no gaps for him to run. If you're the offense, though, you have to think to yourself, maybe I go play action down the road.
And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Jacob Tamme, there. Third down here.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Looking deep downfield. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Falcons. Tanner Gabriel, 53 yards. And the Falcons are an extra point away from moving out in front. And that one puts them on top here in the third. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. On second down, Anderson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a two tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the two tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see two tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Back to the ground. This time it's Anderson. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
They run again on first down. Anderson. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop. And now they're in the hurry-up. They'll try the air now with Simeon. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a third down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. He's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Emmanuel Sanders with now his second touchdown of this third quarter. And the Broncos have retaken the lead.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. his second touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he is out of bounds here on the return. And here now come the Falcons. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. On second down, Ryan. Getting it out left side to Sanu. A very solid gain of 27. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt. And so far, it's working for both of them.
They come up in an offset eye. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Evades the tackler, and now some space. Touchdown, Falcons! Devontae Freeman, 53 yards. And the Falcons are an extra point away from having the lead. And his kick is good. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
So it'll be first down here after the run. They'll put two receivers left, two to the right. On 1st and 10, Simeon completes it to Norwood. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
The motion man is Fowler.
Detroit!
On 1st down, it's Simeon. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They'll eat some clock with Freeman. Stays on his feet. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out. Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. And at this stage of the game, time a factor, time on their side as they just try to eke out the final precious moments of this one. They run. Devontae Freeman trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And he's going to take this one down to the 25. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. And he'll get it up the middle. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are. Stay with who you know. And go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
The safety, T.J. Ward, in on the stop.
Now, that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
They'll come out in the pistol. On second down, Freeman. And he will loop. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
As a guy carrying the ball, your eyes are going to direct your feet, and you're hoping they carry you to the open spaces. But it's awfully difficult at times because you have so many things you have to look out for. Where's the line blocking? Where's the traffic coming from? Tough to find.
And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
And the kick for the 41-year-old is up and good. And that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
And the decision to bring it out proves somewhat fruitful as he is able to get it across the 25 by a little bit. And Denver getting set to take the field. 1 possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have the lead, still a 1-possession game, but the defense got to stop. They've got the football now, just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know they're over on the sidelines now starting to take their tape off and, hey, we've done this thing. The offense has to put it away, and that means ball security.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. Now, hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside.
And the Broncos go to a nickel set on 3rd down.
Yeah, they've got an extra DB out there. This is Coleman. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. 30. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
So we had action to the very end of this one, the score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end, and you know some coaches preach that and tell their teams that's what I want all the time, and they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Falcons here as we say so long from Atlanta.
Call it, Babe Ruth ball it. Your boyfriend's got a cauliflower, and I'm so sue me. Who you, Judge Judy? Stacking the rubies. If life was a movie, then you could just call me the Goonies. You're not relevant, trolling on the internet. No respect, haven't moved out of your parents' basement yet. Big neck, coming with the beat that's gonna break your neck.
You can hear me now.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? If you like it loud, we can make it loud. Can you hold it down? 'Cause we can hold it down. Yeah, you can hear me now. Yeah, you can hear me now. Turn it up to 11. Blow it up straight to heaven. Dropping big beats, so they gotta listen. Just a couple of weirdos coming to your city, sending bass into your earlobes like your bleached out hairdos. We glowing in the dark, got the spark, about to flare the fuse. That's just how we do. To Geronimo, parachute, skydiving off your parents' roof. Crew saw the magician's assistant in half like who the are you? Who the are you? Who the are we? We be the dudes who just come over to water the lawn. We don't say hi, we just come over to walk your dog. We nice like that, we super nice like that.
You can hear me now.
Can you hear me now?
I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. Two teams who need their quarterbacks to step up and lead their offenses on the gridiron today. It's the Broncos going up against the Dolphins. With that, let's head on down to Miami, who will hand it over to the two men calling our game. That's Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to picturesque Miami, Florida. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Denver Broncos and the Miami Dolphins. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Okay, the starters for the Miami Dolphins offensively. Charles, who are we highlighting?
Got to highlight Jay Ajayi, their running back. Came out of Boise State as a fifth-round pick, but most people had his talent much more like a second round. There were some medical concerns with the knee, but he can do it all. Run, catch, block. He's truly a three-down back.
And a look now at how the Broncos line up defensively.
Chris Harris Jr. is not a name that rolls off the tongue quickly, but it should. He's one of the best cover corners in the league.
Blue 10.
Throwing on third down, Tannehill. And that is incomplete.
There's so much precision in an offense, especially when you're throwing the ball. And in an out route, Plenty of it. How about the quarterback hitting his back foot, balls out of his hands, receiver making his break, making his cut. He's got to time up perfectly. Not always easy to do.
Just let him a little too much.
Yeah, I remember back in the good old days, I was talking to a quarterback, and he said everything they did was on the count system. So when he took a snap, he counted in his head for certain routes, different time frames for each one, and he knew if the ball wasn't out of his hand at that point, he'd better eat it because the play was dead.
They go play action here on first down. Surveying the field. Oh, he's going to take a shot. This is caught inside the 15. A huge play there for Denver. 59 yards.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates downfield in the NFL. That big body and that willingness to go catch the football. He's pretty impressive.
And his friends call him Bebe, the nickname his uncle gave him back in the day. Green's got it over the middle. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the...
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Trevor Siemian taking it in. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. And maybe the defense caught a little by surprise there that he took off and got in?
Yeah, I would think so, because if you're analyzing it from that side of the ball, you're thinking running back, fullback. Takes you a while before you get to the quarterback.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
On second down, here's Tannehill. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Seven yards remain now on third down. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Here's Tannehill. Flush to his right. Looking for Stills here, and it's intercepted. And how about this? It's the other Brandon Marshall that picks it off. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And
got his man. It's Thomas. Touchdown, Denver. Demaryius Thomas, 51 yards. And the Broncos able to show off their quick strike ability. And he puts it through. So the flag is for roughing the kicker, a big 15-yard penalty.
And I'm not sure that was the time to go all out after the kicker. Plenty of time left in this game.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So now here come the Dolphins. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Here's Tannehill. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Well, they have the yards anyway, so they're going to decline the penalty. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They come out here in the eye.
Zebra.
Now a first down throw, Tannehill. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable, usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
2nd and 10, Tannehill once more. His throw incomplete. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away, but the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Wide, 20.
Tannehill throwing again. Flushed out right. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot him. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Play fake to Anderson. Now Simeon. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Cameron Wake in there to get him for a loss of 5.
But Brandon, sometimes I think when we watch games, we're actually watching a living museum because we're seeing the evolution of positions almost with each passing game. How about defensive ends nowadays and the way that they can run almost all the way across the field?
It is unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, they're so strong, but they're so lean they can move so quick with those bodies.
It's almost unfair. You're supposed to be able to know where a defensive end is supposed to be on every play. These guys flash so quickly, you're not sure where they're going to end up.
Indeed going for it. Simeon. It's caught. He finds Norwood. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
On 1st down, Simeon. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here. And they're going to go soft on the corners. Throwing on 3rd down, Simeon. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Here's Anderson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 3.
They'll try the air now with Simeon. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. It's Jelani Jenkins that brings him down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First-level defensive line, second-level linebackers, third-level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
Here's Simeon. Left side here to Sanders. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defense.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Jordan Norwood from 10 yards out. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And out come the Dolphins now. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And
Ajay hit. He lost the football.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Set, blue 10. Blue 10.
Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. Eluding the pressure right. And this one is incomplete. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the 2nd down incompletion. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Here's Tannehill escaping the pressure right. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
So much of his game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out. One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it, because if you don't lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
They give it to Anderson. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. He lost 2 there. And it's 3rd down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Now Simeon. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. So that wind at his back that time may have just given it the juice that it needed for 3.
And I tell you, everything had to be perfect here. Good snap, good hold. He's got to drive it low and hope. Like you say, he gets a little help from the wind. And wow, it does just sneak over the bar.
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead, finish up the half, and get on out and talk about it.
They're going to hurry back to the line now. Now Tannehill, and almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down. 2nd down following the incompletion. From the gun, here's Tannehill. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. A final shot here before the break. Tannehill going deep here for Parker. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's
C.J. Anderson past the 20. And all the way home for a Broncos score. C.J. Anderson, 78 yards. And the Broncos continue to pour it on. And he's got it up and through. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And an alley to run. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
It's a gain of just a couple there, but it's enough to get him the first.
They pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with it back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talk about in different games, those guys...
Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, T.J. Ward. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, when plays like that work, It's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other...
And got his man complete. A big play there on third down for the Broncos. 45 yards.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield. Those guys made that play possible.
A couple of Dolphins in on the stop. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Simeon, and caught right side, Green. First down marker at the 31. It's third down. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. Here's Simeon. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
So on now is Brandon McManus. He has hit from as far away as 57, but that was in Denver. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So a good kick there, and they finish off the drive with 3.
And that should be the goal for an offense. Finish each drive with points. So that's a nice job there to come away with at least something.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They set up the screen to Ajayi. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Set 380. 380.
On second down, here's Tannehill. Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
And they've got an extra defensive back out there now on 3rd and 13.
Wide 20.
Out of the gun, Tannehill. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Aqib Talib. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? You're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play, but when it doesn't work, oh, boy, you wish you hadn't.
10th carry now for Anderson. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a third down and 6 to go.
Well, partner, they've been running it well the entire game, and the big guys up front, they're a huge reason why. And now they're reaping the benefits as they continue to open up big holes and gain nice yardage.
Off the fake to Booker and Simeon. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field. One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
And 15 yards there on the catch and run.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Handoff comes to Anderson. And he'll be taken down after a minimal pickup, and that will take us to the end of quarter number 3. Back now in Miami. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Again, Anderson. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Third down now. It's C.J. Anderson. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. I guess you don't wear a Super Bowl ring without taking some chances. Gary Kubiak going for it on 4th down. Running for it. Here's Anderson. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. It's a 4-yard pickup, and the decision to go for it pays off. They've got a 1st and goal. They'll run for it with Anderson, and he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. C.J. Anderson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, and the Broncos add on. And his kick is right through. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And the Dolphins offense now ready to go back out on the field. They come out here in the eye. They go back to the air here. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Aqib Talib. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would because...
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. C.J. Anderson, 29 yards. And the Broncos use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Here comes Grant on the return. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And some room to work. And he's going to be out of bounds up around the 45-yard line. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Here's Tannehill, eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking to get it to Jarvis Landry that time. And now it's 2nd down.
That's a bold strike right there, taking it downfield and putting some air on it. But how about the coverage? Able to get his hands across the receiver and bat the ball down.
Back to the air, Tannehill on 2nd down, escaping the pressure right. And caught by Cameron right side. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. From the 50, it's Tannehill. He's got a man. It's Williams. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. 23 yards on the play.
We can talk about bend but don't break all we want. But the defense now, we're going to find out just how flexible and pliable they really are. Can they bounce back after that type of a run, that type of momentum against them, and find a way to to slow down this offense.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. They come up in an offset eye. They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. It's a pickup of 3, but still a little work to do on 3rd and goal. An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal.
You got to be ready for anything when you play defense against this head coach. That is not something you'd expect to see here in the red zone, but it winds up getting them a few yards. Another stop on 3rd down, and this defense still hasn't allowed a touchdown to this point.
And Frank's kick is good. And the Dolphins are going to be forced to settle for 3. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And Denver getting set to take the field.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these team special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Another tote here for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Anderson. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Throwing on 3rd down, Simeon. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Here's Riley Dixon now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. Take it at the 37. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially given 15, and we have reached the 2-minute warning. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
On 2nd and 10, Tannehill. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for Parker that time, and that'll make it 3rd down.
When everything is in sync on defense, that means everyone's communicating really well, and sometimes it's nonverbal. They just know that when a receiver's in one spot, this person may have him, and he's in another spot, the next defender may have him. And they've squeezed the passing lanes down to where it's so difficult to find an open area to deliver the football. They've made it tough on them all game long.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Von Miller in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards.
And on 1st and goal, they decided to throw for it, but the coverage was excellent. And he kept holding the ball, hoping someone would shake free. Instead,
and now here is another interception. Picked off by the safety, T.J. Ward. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. And quickly, they get to the line. Now it looks like he'll throw here. He's going to wind up and air it out. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, the obvious goal is to try and score a touchdown, but at the least, adding to a pretty big yardage total for his intended receiver there, huh?
Yeah, well, when you got a guy over 150 yards, keep chucking it deep to him, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You can get it to him short, and he can make plays that way, but I like what you just said. Throw it to him deep and get it in a big chunk.
But incomplete on that try. From the gun on third, Simeon. No one's got it. Complete. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. And they're going to speed things up here.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catch.
Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rashad Jones. And that will write a finish to this ball game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. And with that, we sign off from Miami.
Live like it's Mardi Gras and go dumb with my whole squad and don't need the R&R. To regular life, I say au revoir. Hey, living life in the fast lane. May your pain only be...